Could you tell me your first name, nationality, the year you arrived in the U.S., and how old you were?
My name is Victoria Navarro. I was born in Mexico. I came to the U.S. in 1996 when I was 4 years old.
So for our first question, when you first arrived to the U.S., what communication challenges did you and your family face?
I was 4 years old, or I had barely turned 4 years old, so I didn't go to school till like a year after I came here. So I would say that I didn't have so many communication barriers just because we lived with my uncle's family and his children all spoke English. So I kind of like picked up the language through the year, and it really helped me when I started kindergarten. And I feel like as a small child, you pick up the language faster. So in terms of me struggling, it wasn't that much, but I feel like my parents did. But they had a lot of help from my uncle and his family, who had already been here for about 10 years. And they were fortunate to find a lot of people in the community that were able to help them, like with the resources and just like simple things, you know, like how to pay bills, how much money was worth, where to shop and everything like that. They had a really close like community that kind of like helped each other out. So there were struggles, but there was ways around it too.
So when you went to school, your first year, were you involved in the English as a second language program?
I believe I was in ESL until I was in second grade, I think. I don't remember much of what we did. I knew that it meant that we left the classroom, the regular classroom, for at least like an hour every day with other couple of students. And to me, it just felt like we did additional exercises than what we did in class. We would read books together, and sometimes we would just go over vocabulary words and stuff like that. But I don't remember significantly what like it is that we learned or what was the purpose of it. To me, it was just like an additional class throughout the day.
What impact did that have on you?
I would say like minimal, like now that I understand what it is and like I guess how significant it is more. I guess it does impact you more, but at the time it didn't really have that much of an impact.
Okay. Do you identify yourself as Latina?
I would say that I'm Mexican, and that makes me a Latina.
So can you explain your culture and how that compares to your parents?
My culture, I believe, is kind of like a mixture of what my parents have taught me throughout the years, because for me, living in Mexico only for 4 years, I don't think I got to experience firsthand all the culture that there is there within school and like just any other type of celebrations there. I didn't actually get to live it myself, but I know what there is from my parents. I know what I've gotten to live through, like what I've also learned in school and just throughout any other type of like cultural kind of background. So it's something that I formed in my head and I've gotten to know more throughout the years, and I've gotten to experience it in my own way here, but I don't know if that is the way that it necessarily happens in Mexico. Because as you know, like there is a difference between what people do in Mexico and what people do here in the United States as a culture of Mexico.
Do you consider yourself to be assimilated?
Actually, I've asked myself this question many times, and I think that I am totally assimilated to the United States. Sometimes I think that people want to say that they're not, because that just kind of holds you to your kind of like your roots and like being able to say you're Mexican, and I think I'm still able to say I'm Mexican, but I also have grown fond of this country because I've lived here the majority of my life, and thanks to me living here and the situation that I've been in, and I've had a lot of opportunities that I don't think I would have necessarily got if I had stayed to live in Mexico. And assimilation to me is not a bad thing to a certain extent because I still hold true to my roots, but regardless of that, like I do think I am assimilated to this country.
Do you feel like you fit in with your peer group?
In terms of like peer group, describe peer group.
Such as in the friends you hang around with and the people in your school. Like, do you find it hard for you to talk to people outside of your culture?
No. I feel like you're always going to find things new about other people. So necessarily I can't say that it's always going to be comfortable for me to like go out of my way, because especially in college you meet a lot of people not just in your immediate like related group. You meet people who are international and stuff like that are from across the country, you know, so you're never going to know how to talk to all these type of people, but to the majority of people that are here I would feel like I am comfortable, and if you aren't comfortable, I feel like to me it's just a way to reach out and know more. there's nothing that stops me from communicating with anybody else. I know there's going to be uncomfortableness and it might be a little awkward, but I have to do it in order to kind of like break through those barriers.
Okay. Well, this concludes our interview. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.